It's a family farm operation. I'm the third generation farmer on this block of land, and my father Colin and I work it currently. I think the keys to consistent MSA results for us are the fact that we have our cattle for a fairly extended period of time. We're keeping them for well over a year before we're sending them on. We buy in quite a few young steers, aged between about 8 and 12 months, and we grow them out to about 600 kilograms. Because we hold them so long, for another 12 or 18 months, you're responsible for their growth over such a long period, so you've got control over that. That gives you low ossification scores and helps get your pH levels right, and that's what will get you a good MSA result.
Some of the things that Ross is doing really well are around the maturity, the physiological maturity of the animal, so the ossification. Those scores, they're averaging about 160, so it's not as low as some others might be finding, but for the type of cattle he's got, and with that bit higher carcass weight for the market he's chasing, there's that trade-off there between weight and maturity, so that's really working well for him.
We buy our cattle in at 8 to 12 months of age, and we take them out into the hill country to grow them out. When we bring them back down here after 6 or 8 months, we put them on the more improved pasture. We'll feed them a bit more hay and silage, get them nice and quiet like we see these cattle here, and get into the springtime and they'll rapidly put on weight.
Ross's marbling scores are really quite good as well, and that comes down to the management of the pasture and the type of pasture that he's got, and he's really finishing those animals off really well. And lastly, he's really getting some good rib fats measurements, which although doesn't have a big effect on eating quality, it's making sure there's good cover over the carcass in the chiller to make sure that we're not getting that cold shortening happening.
So most of our cattle go to Greenham's in Tasmania, in Smithton. That's a huge trip from here in northeast Victoria. Have to load them here at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. They travel to Melbourne and across on the ferry and are there for the kill the next morning. I think it's a testament to both us and those MSA protocols that we can make that big trip and still have good results at the other end.
One thing Ross does really well is uses his feedback. And even though he's trading cattle, he's keeping track of where he's getting them from as well. So he's really got the full picture of how those animals are doing. And then with his on-farm side of things, he's trying to manage as many things as he can to do with the nutrition and to do with their growth path to ensure that the article at the end of the day is really top quality.